Stop scrolling, because what you're about to hear is going to feel a little too personal. You think you're in control of your life. You think you choose how you react, who you love, why you stay, why you leave. But what if that's not actually true? What if there's something underneath all of it? A pattern that's been running your life this entire time, and you didn't even notice it. Because here's the truth. Your zodiac sign isn't just a label. It's not just something you check for fun. It's a pattern, a psychological blueprint. And if you're not aware of it, it quietly controls everything. Your emotions, your decisions, your relationships. And the worst part? It doesn't feel like control. It feels like you. That's why it's so hard to see. But today, you're going to see it. Because we're not going through all 12 signs one by one. We're going deeper than that. We're breaking them into 4 hidden patterns, 4 psychological traps. And one of them is probably the reason your life keeps repeating itself. So listen carefully, because the last one might hit harder than you expect. Let's start with the first pattern. The people who look like they have everything under control, but are actually the most controlled of all. The control pattern. These are the people who need structure, who need direction, who need to feel like they're in charge of something, maybe even everything. From the outside, you look strong, focused, put together. You're the one people rely on, the one who seems like they always know what they're doing. But inside, there's pressure, constant pressure, because your worth is tied to performance, to results, to how well you're doing in life. You don't just want to succeed, you need to, because if you're not moving forward, if you're not improving, if you're not achieving something, it feels like you're falling behind. And that feeling, you hate it. So you push harder, you plan more, you control more. You try to eliminate uncertainty, because uncertainty feels dangerous, unpredictable, out of your control. And that's where the trap begins. Because life is unpredictable. People are unpredictable. And no matter how much you plan, you can't control everything. But instead of accepting that, you tighten your grip. You overthink. You overwork. You try to stay ahead of everything. And slowly, you stop living in the moment. You're always thinking about the next move, the next goal, the next improvement. And when something doesn't go your way, it hits you harder than anyone realizes. Because it's not just a failure, it feels like a reflection of you. Like you're not enough. So you try to fix it, improve it, control it. But the more you try to control everything, the less free you actually are. And that's the truth no one tells you. Control is just another form of fear. Now, here's where things shift, because the next group doesn't try to control life. They feel it deeply, too deeply. The emotional pattern. These are the people who experience everything intensely. Nothing feels small. Nothing feels neutral. When you love deeply. When you hurt deeply. When something affects you, it stays with you, long after it's over. You don't just remember experiences, you relive them. Every detail, every emotion, every moment that mattered. And that's powerful, because you connect with people on a level most don't. You understand emotions. You feel things others miss. But here's the part no one talks about. It's exhausting, because you don't just feel your emotions, you carry them. You hold on to them. You revisit them, even when you don't want to, especially when they hurt. And that creates a pattern. You become attached, not just to people, but to feelings, to intensity, to emotional highs and lows. And without realizing it, you start seeking it, even if it comes with pain, because calm feels unfamiliar. Silence feels empty. So you find yourself drawn to situations that bring the emotion back. Complicated relationships, unresolved connections, people who trigger something inside you. And every time, it feels real. It feels meaningful, but it's a loop. The same emotional cycle, playing out again and again. Different person, same feeling, different story, same ending. And until you see it, you'll keep calling it love. But not everyone gets lost in emotion. Some people do the opposite. They avoid it. The escape pattern. These are the ones who value freedom above everything. You don't like feeling tied down, not emotionally, not mentally, not physically. You see yourself as independent, open-minded, always evolving, and you are. But there's something else happening underneath. When things get too deep, too real, too emotionally heavy, you pull away, you detach, you distract yourself, you move on. Not because you don't care, but because it feels like too much. So instead of sitting with the emotion, you escape it into new experiences, new ideas, new people. You tell yourself you're growing, that you're moving forward. But if you're honest, there's a pattern. Things rarely go deep. Connections don't last as long as they could. And there's always something missing, something unfinished. Because the moment things require real emotional presence, you're already halfway out the door. And here's the truth. You're not afraid of being tied down. You're afraid of being seen, of being vulnerable, of staying long enough for someone to truly understand you. So you keep moving, keep exploring, keep searching. But what you're really avoiding is yourself. And then there's the last pattern, the one that seems the safest, the calmest, the most stable. But it's also the quietest trap of all, the comfort pattern. These are the people who value peace, stability, familiarity. You don't like chaos, you don't like conflict. You just want things to feel okay, predictable, manageable, safe. You're the reliable one, the steady one, the one people trust, and that's a strength. But it can also become your weakness, because you don't just like comfort, you depend on it, and that makes change feel uncomfortable. Even when you need it, even when you know something isn't right, you stay. In situations that don't grow you, in relationships that don't fulfill you, in routines that slowly drain you, because at least they're familiar. At least you know what to expect. And leaving that feels risky, uncertain, maybe even dangerous. So you wait. You tell yourself it will get better. You adjust. You compromise. You tolerate. And over time, that comfort becomes a cage. You're not stuck because you can't leave. You're stuck because you won't. Because deep down, you've convinced yourself that safe is better than unknown. But safe is not the same as fulfilled. And the longer you stay in that space, the harder it becomes to break out. Now here's the part that connects everything. Because these patterns, they don't just exist in your mind. They show up in your life, in real ways. The people you're attracted to, the way you handle conflict, the decisions you make under pressure, the habits you repeat without even thinking. It all comes back to your pattern. And if you don't recognize it, you don't question it, you just live it over and over again. But the moment you become aware of it, everything changes. Because now, you see it. You notice the trigger, the reaction, the moment right before you fall back into the same cycle. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can follow the pattern, or you can break it. And that's where real control begins. Not in controlling everything around you, but in understanding what's controlling you. So be honest with yourself. Which pattern are you stuck in? The need for control? The addiction to emotion? The urge to escape? Or the comfort that's holding you back? Because the answer to that question explains more about your life than you think. So tell me in the comments, what's your zodiac sign, and which part felt a little too real? And if you're ready to understand yourself on a level most people never do, make sure you subscribe. Because in the next video, we're breaking down why each zodiac sign falls into toxic relationships and how to break free from them. This isn't just astrology anymore. This is self-awareness. And once you see your pattern, you can finally change it.